Step 4. So now that we have our e-commerce website up and running and it looks amazing, now let's go through the WooCommerce settings. So I'll walk you through the general setup with WooCommerce. I'll then walk you through how to set up taxes and shipping. Then we're going to integrate credit card payments on your e-commerce store. So in this part of the video, I'm going to fully walk you through all of the options in the WooCommerce settings. Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, party people, in this part of the video, we're now going to be talking about the WooCommerce settings. So let's go over here to our dashboard. Now here you're going to see WooCommerce, and you'll have a few tabs like orders, customers, coupons, reports, and settings, and a few other miscellaneous options. You'll also see a payments tab, which takes you to the payments of WooCommerce, and also analytics about your store, where if you click on the overview tab, it'll just give you a brief overview about your store. Then also there's options like revenue, orders, variations, and all these other options you can check out later. Below that, we also have another tab called marketing. Yeah, I know. I don't know why they keep adding in more and more tabs, but this essentially will introduce you all to, third-party plugins that you can use on your store. And also there is a coupons tab where you can create coupons, which we will do a little bit later. But let's go ahead and go to the core options of WooCommerce. So over here under WooCommerce, let's scroll over here and click on settings, and let's configure the options for our store. Now, the first thing that you want to do is create a store address. This is very important because this will configure the taxes for your store. So here I'll just go ahead and put in a random address. Here I'll also put in a city. California. Now, the next option is general options, and here you have selling locations. So this is important. So you can sell to all the countries, sell to all countries except for, or sell to specific countries. In my experience of web design, this option is typically selected the most because here you can actually select the countries where you want to do business. And if you are in the United States, you probably want to do business only within the United States. However, you can also use our neighbor, Canada, if you want to, go that route. So we'll select United States and Canada for this tutorial. Here we have shipping location, and obviously you can ship to all the countries you sell to, or you can ship to all countries. But I think this one makes the most sense because you're only going to ship to countries where you do business. The next option is default customer location. So whatever the customer puts on the checkout page, that's where you're going to ship to. We do have geolocate, but in my experience, a lot of people use VPNs today, so I recommend to just use shop country. The next is address autocomplete. You don't really need this because this requires a third-party plugin, which we're not going to use. Next, we have taxes and coupons. I do recommend to enable taxes and also enable the use of coupons, and then make sure all these boxes are checked. And below that, we have currency options, and here you can actually select the currency you want to accept for your online store. I'm going to be accepting the US dollar. So here at the bottom, after we've made all those changes, here I'll click on Save Changes. All right, cool. Now just remember that your store address must be correct. And again, this is very important because taxes and shipping are calculated based off your store address. Let's go to the next tab. The next tab we have products. Now the shop page is actually called products. If you actually want to create a brand new shop page from scratch, you can go to plus new up over here and go to page and then assign any shop page as your default shop page. Next, we have the add to cart behavior. This essentially means that if you check this box, it'll redirect users to the cart page if they add something. I don't recommend selecting that if you have multiple products because then it's going to keep bringing them to the cart page if they add anything to the cart. Now below here we have measurements, and essentially if you are in America, you definitely want to select pounds and ounces. If you are in Europe, you might want to do kilograms and grams. So these are just weight measurements for your store. Also dimension units, you can change this to inches, yards, meters, or inches or centimeters. Now below that we have reviews. Now this option is actually important. So if you want to enable reviews, you can have this box checked. If you want to only allow people to leave reviews if they have personally bought something on your store, then you will select this option here. So it's really up to you, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that unchecked. And then here we have product ratings as well, where you can enable star ratings on reviews. So you can configure what you want for the reviews, but once you're done making those changes, you'll then click on Save Changes. You can also go explore these other options like inventory, where you can enable stock management. And then also if you have downloadable products, you can go ahead and adjust some of the options here. But let's go ahead and click on the tax tab up here at the top. So the next tab is tax.